Hi, and welcome back to the Cheeky Crypto Podcast. My name's Chris, and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another podcast. And in today's podcast, I am very excited to let you know that we have Jasmine from 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗠 to talk about everything 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗠 and answer all of our community-based questions. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Right, let's get down to the interview. So hi Jasmine, great to have you on the channel. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us today. Could we just kick off by sort of finding out a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in crypto?
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me. So I actually, well, my background's in health information management, which is pretty much medical coding type of thing, different from computer coding, like having to do with health data.
Yeah.
And so how I got involved with crypto was actually via SingularityNet, which is the parent company of 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗠𝗪. I found out about it in 2017 and just thought it was really interesting. Like I saw the robots debating, and I just got into that and started becoming an AGI at the time holder. And that was my first experience. Like I didn't even know what a wallet was or anything when I got involved, and I kind of just stayed in all the way through there and started volunteering with the community, and eventually got into 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗠𝗪.
Perfect. So obviously we're very excited to have you on the channel. There's a lot of hype in our community right now about 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗪, so we're looking forward to hearing more about it. So on that, could you maybe tell us a little bit more about 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗪? What is 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗪 basically?
Yeah, so 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗪 is a decentralized AI longevity research network. And what that basically means is that it's a way for people all over the world to contribute health data into a massive database and be able to analyze data via different AI tools that we are designing in order to lead to breakthrough discoveries in human longevity. It's basically about making lifespan longer and healthier as you live longer as well. And we do that via our mobile app that's currently in beta, and that will be launching soon as well.
So that sounds really, really interesting. And, I've done a little bit of research on, similar sort of stuff that, people have been talking about when it comes to longevity and health benefits and that side of things. How does it all work with 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗪?
Yeah, so basically you sign up and create a profile on the app, and there is a bunch of different health profiles and surveys that you can answer about your personal health. And you can also connect your wearable devices like Garmin, Apple Watch, Fitbit, and soon we will be also integrating Google Fit as well to kind of pick up all the other, we have Oura Ring as well, and all the other devices that aren't included, we can sync via HealthKit and Google Fit. And so then from there, you get AI generated health insights and also a biological age calculation, which will be continuously getting better as we continue to add more AI layers and upgrades to the system. And so then after getting that, you can choose to become part of our research program, which means like you create a data NFT and basically you begin to earn RJV tokens in exchange for your data, and which gives you opportunities to later on participate in other things like clinical trials and just to do further research and kind of take part in the development of future therapeutics and solutions.
So it's one thing I was quite skeptical about was obviously messing with lifespan and the natural order, but the more I have looked into the project, the more I do see the benefits of it. Lifestyles, health, everything that goes there. But could you obviously explain to everybody listening and watching what the benefits of 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗪 are?
Yeah, so the immediate benefits, aside from being able to track your own health data in one place, because that's pretty convenient. Instead of kind of keeping track of all these doctor records and all that sort of thing, you just have it on one app. And also just kind of those reminders daily, hey, you're not exercising enough, you're not eating properly, you should try to do this, and seeing your number go up and down. It's kind of a motivational thing. But also we have an in-app reward store that you can use your 𝗕𝗫𝗠𝗪 tokens to purchase items that will help to enhance your health and longevity, such as science-backed supplements, genetic tests like an epigenomic test to actually see your real biological age and telomere length, and those kind of things, whole genome sequencing, and also wearables in case you don't have one already. And we will continue to add more and more different lines of products, up to consultations with physicians about your health, health and wellness, spas and retreats, something else I really want to install in there as well. So yeah, just a whole range of things to help your day-to-day health and life.
Sounds amazing. I like the idea of the retreats. I'm definitely overdue a holiday. We've been talking about it a long time in the Discord. Like Nick and myself definitely need a holiday. So yeah, have to keep me informed on how that develops. The retreat thing sounds awesome. So I think you touched on a few points there around how people can get involved with the app and that side of things. But are there other ways that community can get involved? Obviously, we've got the launch event. I think that was announced yesterday.
Yes, we announced our TGE date yesterday. And so the main way that you can get involved is on our partner platform, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗕, which also launched the NewNet token and also has staking for AGIX as well. So our token will be the next one to be launching from there and added into there as well. So that's kind of the first way. And then, of course, there's other Launchpad events that are TBA as well.
So going forward with Rejuve, the roadmap for 2023. Can you talk about that with us? Kind of explain what's on the cards for this year?
Yeah, so the first major event is actually the public launch of the app, because right now it's in a beta phase, and we hope to launch that by the end of Q1. And so then it will officially be out there in the world. And then the next step after that is to actually tie in the new tokens and smart contracts into that so that people can begin to actually earn for data. And also we hope to be able to have people able to stake directly from the app as well for convenience. As far as app features, we're going to be installing nutritional tracking, the Google Fit that I mentioned earlier. And one of the more exciting ones is another AI layer. So right now we have our first service in there already, which is called 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, and that uses a bunch of statistics from scientific papers and thousands of clinical trials and studies. And so the next component is going to be a modular transformer variational autoencoder, or VAE for short, and that will improve the biological age calculation and be able to better fill in missing gaps of data that some people may or may not have. So that is also on the roadmap for 2023, is putting in that next system. And yeah, we hope to be able to begin the onboarding of actual genomic data into the app as well before the end of the year, because that will be important.
Sounds amazing. But what excites you the most, on the roadmap? I think it'd be really interesting to understand, I guess, what excites you the most and why.
So yeah, actually just the building of the database and the increase in the accuracy of the AI, like overlaying those systems. Because then we have our final component, which is called the Generative Cooperative Network, or GCN. And that's when we really start to combine all of that information and those AIs together and have other outside modelers and developers begin to contribute their AI to the system as well. And so I'm most excited about what findings will emerge once all this data is in the system, because we know that AI kind of thinks different from humans. So it may be that, it finds factors, that we would have never, that even the smartest people in the world would have never basically identified, because it's not based in a logical thing, but it's based on just raw data. So I'm excited to see what kind of findings come out of it and what kind of solutions that leads to for humanity.
I think overall, it does sound fascinating the way everything is combining together there. I think it will, flourish into something really special. So we do have a few community questions, obviously, that folk have asked us to ask you. I'll go ahead with the first one here, and it's: how do Rejuve ensure that the user data is completely secure?
Yeah. So in the beginning, we're kind of using best practices. We have our data stored on AWS servers, and we also kind of practice the minimum necessary rule, which is one of the rules of HIPAA, actually, which is basically only the people that need to see data do. We use encryption to the maximum that we can, but in order to be able to still fix bugs and code the app, some developers will need to see. But like, for instance, I don't have any codes to the database or anything of that nature, so only seeing what's necessary. And we are also always kind of looking into future solutions to make it more decentralized, because we are open about that, the fact that it is a centralized database at this moment, but we want to be able to evolve past that in the future, but also still be able to maintain those strict standards of data protection and security.
Will users be able to perhaps unmask their data for somebody if they were to wish to do that? Is that something that's going to be possible?
So basically we have it, they submit the data initially just to Rejuve AI. And so once we get to the point of outside entities requesting data, they'll be able to choose permissions on what to share and what not to share. And we will always anonymize it when we are sharing with third-party entities, just because that's the right thing to do anyway. But also, you know, it's kind of, they'll be able to use this data NFT system, which you can find out more about in the white paper, in order to give the permissions and set to who you want to access it and how much and why, pretty much.
So on the AI narrative behind Rejuve, will there be outside databases used for the AI and not just like your own databases?
Yeah, so actually, what our first system-based expert, we use the NHANES data, which is a big US database set that's been a longitudinal study for years, and it's from, I think, 1999 to 2019. So that was used in there for the initial machine learning background. And we will also continue to integrate other public data sets such as that as well. And also right now we have a partnership with a company called 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘. They do epigenetic testing. And while we're not going to hold on to their data, but we are working on a project together to create better chronological age algorithms. And so any general learning that's gained from analyzing that will be retained. So yeah, we will integrate other sources as well.
Sounds amazing. Really excited about everything Rejuve. Is there anything else that you would like to cover off for the community? Anything that perhaps we haven't sort of touched on that you thought would be really beneficial for our community to be aware of?
Yeah, so I guess Rejuve Biotech is another element that I'm not sure if everyone has heard of, but it's kind of our therapeutics division. And so right now they have a exclusive license to study these long-lived fruit flies. They call them Methuselah flies. They've pretty much been working on them for, I think, 15 to 20 years, just kind of selectively breeding them to live longer and longer. So right now they're up to living 5 to 8 times longer than normal flies. But the thing is, they're just now starting to study exactly why that is, because all they did was just breed them and breed them. They weren't, it's not like they're not genetically engineering them or anything of that nature to live longer. So the findings that are found from analyzing those fly genomes will also be used to match up kind of with human genomes that are submitted via the app. And using AI tools as well, we'll be able to use that to develop new longevity therapeutics. And members will kind of share in the ownership of those new products that are incepted. And the ultimate goal is to be able to offer products that the network helped to create in the actual Rejuve store, for a deeply discounted and early rate using Rejuve tokens. So that's kind of our end game there, is to really bridge that gap between crypto and real life products and services in the best way possible, which is a product that the community made themselves.
Yeah, it sounds really really cool, and I guess it levels the playing field a lot, because I imagine a lot of this sort of benefits of studies similar to the ones that you're talking about are really for like the ultra wealthy, right?
Right. That is something that we really stand on a lot as well. If you kind of see our materials, is longevity for all. So anyone that desires to have access to this, we want to lower and lower that barrier. And what better way than to actually participate in the research yourself? And also, just even even if you're not a data contributor, just coming and having a Rejuve token and interacting with the store, you can still access things at those rates.
So, sorry, go on.
For me, it was like the overall project here, the real world utility, the use case that you're bringing to the table here with Rejuve. I think it's absolutely fascinating. Everything that you're combining, for me, it's now looking like one of the most exciting looking projects going forward, that's coming into the space. It's the most beneficial to the human being that's investing as well. It's just kind of like a summary there. I think everything that is going on with Rejuve, the benefits it then gives back to the user, I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's like it's too on it's on all different levels depending on how much you want to participate. Like, there's some people that want to literally live forever, some people that just want to live long enough to experience certain things, see their great grandkids get married and all that sort of stuff. So whatever spectrum that you fall on, it's benefiting everybody's individual health, and then it also allows that access for those more advanced futuristic technologies if you want to, and you don't have to be super duper rich in order to be part of it.
Yeah, and I think another question that just comes to mind. You don't necessarily, and yeah, I'm just trying to understand more here. You could just participate by using the app and sort of using your Apple Watch, for example, right? So you wouldn't necessarily have to even invest in the token. You could just use it in your everyday life. Is that am I thinking about it correctly?
So yes, you can health app as well. Yeah, there's no necessity to use the token. Of course, it's solicitation, and you'd want to after a while, but it's not required. You can just purely use it for the insights and recommendations, and even to get product recommendations too. If you don't want to necessarily pay in crypto, you can still be forwarded to know the sources as well, like vetted sources of things.
So one of the things just came into my head there, and it may not be relevant, but going forward, is there potential for the app to have compatibility with other like training apps? So like your cycling or your weightlifting training apps for the the data that comes from these apps, would that be able to be onboarded to the 𝗕𝗪𝗠 app, or is it just tracked through the devices?
You can like we can make different like partnerships and APIs. Like usually we look for APIs at this time to connect, but kind of using those device package kits is the most kind of easy way rather than hooking up thousands of APIs, because there's so many different ones. But of course, we're always open to new partnerships to be able to make, like let's say if it was really beneficial, the product that they were offering, then we might, want to partner with them and have, some kind of benefits going on in between the two communities. But essentially, we're trying to make it so that it's the easiest way possible to get all of that data, whether it's your, daily weight tracking or meal tracking or anything of that nature.
Excellent. Well, appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to answer our community's questions and all that wonderful stuff. Really looking forward to obviously how things develop. So please stay in touch, and perhaps we can catch up in 6 months or so to see how things have progressed. We'd be really interested to see how things progress over the next few months.
Yes, should be exciting. Thank you. I'll be happy to come back as well.
So that was Jasmine, the CEO of 𝗕𝗪𝗠, talking about everything that is happening when it comes to 𝗕𝗪𝗠. If you enjoyed this sort of content and you wish to support the channel, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.